Former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, appeared on Fox News, on Fox and Friends. I believe it was earlier this morning, Tuesday. And he takes his turn at defending the actions of Trump and saying how this is really all about nothing. It's garbage.
Tomorrow, impeachment proceedings begin, or impeachment inquiry begins. We're going to be able to watch it. President is announcing this morning that he wants to release the first conversation, the transcript that he had with the president of Ukraine. This is what he tweeted this morning. I will be releasing the transcript of the first and therefore more important phone call with the Ukrainian president before week's end. Why do you think he's doing this?
Well, I think the president's case is that he has consistently dealt with Ukraine much better than Obama did. He's helped them much more than Obama did. He has a natural ally in the new reformed president of Ukraine. And in the president's mind, I think he believes that he was asking for help in getting to the truth, which is the opposite of what was going on with the Democrats and the Steele dossier and all the lies they were generating. So I suspect the president at one level is sort of frustrated with this idea that Hunter Biden can go off and make $3 or $4 million and nobody's supposed to be allowed to find out whether or not it was corrupt, and that Joe Biden can go off and threaten to take away $1 billion in aid to Ukraine and nobody's allowed to question whether or not it was corrupt. But any word that President Trump uses is somehow suspect. And I think he's trying to say, look, I'm being as open as I know how to be because there isn't anything substantive here. All of this is garbage. The idea that remember, this president is saying to the Ukrainians, help me get to the truth. I mean, when did the New York Times and the Washington Post suddenly decide that covering up the truth is a good idea? This is crazy. And the Democrats, frankly, are behaving in a way that's crazy. Historians are going to look back and they're going to say this whole case was totally made up. I think that Lee Smith's book, The Plot Against the President, captures exactly what happened. He worked with Devin Nunes for 2 years to develop it. And what you have is a coup being orchestrated by left-wingers in the bureaucracy, left-wingers in the news media, and left-wingers in the House Democrats. And historically, it'll be seen someday as being crazy. It's literally like the Salem witch trial. I mean, there is nothing here. Presidents who want to find the truth have every right to say to a foreign government, will you help me get to the truth? And that's what Trump was doing.
Well, coup.
He said this is literally like the Salem witch trials. Literally.
I don't think he understands what the... Well, actually, I think he does. But in this case, he's trying to act as if he doesn't understand what the word literally means. And he's trying to act as if he doesn't understand what the word coup means, which is a sudden and violent overthrow.
Violent, man.
Yeah.
Violent.
A legal seizure.
Yeah.
A legal seizure.
Usually committed
government.
by like some military, some arsenal.
This is not sudden. This is not illegal.
No.
And it's not violent.
It's following the Constitution, but
it's actually following a particular process that Republicans are involved in.
Yeah.
That's a weird fucking witch trial right there.
It is, man.
That's a weird witch trial.
You're allowing
that's
the
a weird
defenders
coup.
to be involved.
That's a weird coup. That's a soft coup, I guess.
Yo, why did he throw it to Obama?
Oh, in the Steele dossier.
He said, because the question to Newt Gingrich was, well, why do you think President Trump is trying to release this first transcript, this first phone call that he had with President Zelensky? And he throws it to, well, because President Trump has been better in dealing with Ukraine than Obama. He's been more supportive of Ukraine than Obama. I don't know how that's relevant. They still are working in Obama when it doesn't even make sense. That's miraculous.
I just don't look to Newt Gingrich to tell the truth and be ethical based on his own history. I know he resigned from the House because he violated federal tax law. And he lied to the ethics panel in an effort to get them to dismiss the complaint.
So you don't think he can be trusted?
So I don't think he could be trusted.
This guy said, and again, this goes back to what we were saying earlier. He said that there should be nothing wrong with President Trump trying to get to the truth, trying to ascertain if what the Bidens did was corrupt or not. And he admonished that the Washington Post and I believe he said the New York Times, why are they covering up the truth? which of course is not true, because again, as it relates to Hunter Biden, this goes back to 2014. This has been discussed in the media before. It has been reported about. There was an actual investigation in Ukraine. There was nothing that turned up, nothing to suggest that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden, whatever they did was illegal, nothing. But so he's saying that President Trump should have he has every reason to ask another country like Ukraine to investigate corruption. And that should be permissible. That is appropriate. That's an appropriate action. So again, I ask the question, if it's appropriate, if you really want to find out if what Joe Biden or his son did was corrupt, then why didn't Trump go forward with it? Why did you release the aid? You see, they're attacking this thing the wrong way. And it's like they should be smarter than this. They should actually be critical of Trump's actions and handing the money over to Ukraine without that announcement of the investigation. Damn. Because if it was right, if everything was appropriate here, all the T's dotted, all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed.
That's actually correct.
That's actually correct.
That's what it looks like they're doing.
It does. But if everything is on the up and up, if everything is correct there, nothing wrong with what Trump did, then why aren't they mad that Trump actually just gave it up and said, well, they can have the money. They don't have to announce an investigation. You gave up. So this is the president that wants to seek out and root out corruption, but he gave up the fight, and the Republicans aren't mad about that?
It does seem as if they are kind of failing to equip themselves with, some, I guess, argumentative firepower. It would be a bad argument, but at least it would make sense.
It would at least make sense because it would be consistent with the narrative. If your narrative is true, then again, everything is appropriate. Why not push Ukraine to do what you want them to do, to find the corruption? Why back off? So you're saying this current administration and the Republicans are okay with the corruption not being found because nobody said you had to give them the money because you had already pulled it, right? I mean, you already withheld it. Nobody said, hey, you got to give them the money. Like, at least publicly. That was a Trump decision.
Voluntarily. They voluntarily released the money.
Yeah. September 11th, they did this. We didn't even have all the information yet. We didn't have the whistleblower account. We didn't have the phone call, the summary of the phone. We didn't have any of this. This was before anybody ever testified behind closed doors. We didn't have none of this information. But the Trump administration, Trump himself, and I guess Mick Mulvaney made the decision to release the aid. If they were actually trying to root out corruption, if this was a real thing, why didn't they press forward?